In today's video, we're talking about AEW All In. We're talking about some really big AEW, WWE, and MLW news. So as always, I'm going to put the timestamps in the description down below. I want to kick things off with MLW. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I've already put out a little bit of a statement on why this is huge. But for those who don't know, Court Bauer, who runs MLW, came out today on Busted Open Radio and has confirmed that premium live events for MLW will now be exclusively on Fite TV Plus. Now, if you guys don't know what Fite TV Plus is, this is not a paid ad. This is not a sponsorship. I've had zero communication with the Fite team at all. But for those who don't know, it's a streaming service from Fite. You pay $7.99, and there's a whole bunch of wrestling content, MMA, boxing, and all that good stuff on the app for a monthly fee. And MLW is one of the bigger companies that is part of the Fite TV Plus package. This is actually huge because for a while we've heard that MLW would like to do more live events and streaming and stuff like that. I've actually said several times in the past that, MLW has a pretty good product, but the big issue that I see is that they are very, very, very geared towards the hardcore audience, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but because of that, their TV viewership isn't as high as some of these other companies. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with that. The good news here is MLW continues to figure it out, realizing that distribution is absolutely key in growing their product. And the best part is, if you guys want access to MLW's pay-per-views, their premium live events, for $7.99 a month, you can get access to them, and this will begin starting in July. July 8th, Never Say Never 2023, live from Philadelphia. MLW will go live on Fite TV Plus. Just ultimately, in general, this is the type of stuff that you want to see in the wrestling industry. You want to see wrestling content that's inexpensive, accessible. You want to watch live programming. You want to watch your favorite wrestlers. Some of your favorite wrestlers may not be signed to WWE or AEW. So these smaller companies being able to get out there for a very low cost is actually a good thing. And it just goes to show you again the importance of a healthy wrestling industry. If you are somebody who doesn't re-sign with AEW, or if you're somebody who doesn't re-sign with WWE, there's other companies out there that exist, and this is another good example of that. Guys, I want to talk to you about Sha Samuels. If you don't know, Sha Samuels used to be in WWE NXT UK, and PW Insider recently reported on PW Insider Elite that Sha Samuels was spotted at the WWE Performance Center yesterday. It wasn't noted if he was offered a new deal with the WWE or if he's even coming back to the company. But obviously this is very interesting considering that he is a former WWE superstar who was released in August of 2022. Now, I'm actually a pretty big fan of everything WWE has done with NXT in recent months, but I want to take a serious look. I want to take a serious look at what's happening here, okay? So, WWE essentially announces that NXT UK is closing down. Then we find out WWE is developing NXT Europe. Fast forward to the WWE draft, 18 NXT talents were called up to the main roster, and a lot of names were still left behind in NXT, and a lot of these names were people that I think a lot of people in the IWC thought would get called up to the main roster. Ilya Dragunov is somebody who is staying in NXT, and essentially a lot of the NXT talent come from NXT UK. So if WWE actually has plans for NXT Europe, I look at this as a very, very interesting move, because if you're the WWE and you lose 18 of your talents to the main roster, and obviously there's going to be a constant flow to the main roster, I have to wonder if WWE's plan for NXT Europe is actually on hold. I want everybody to think about this for a second. WWE cancels NXT Europe. NXT cancels NXT UK. WWE then says they're going to launch NXT Europe. A lot of talent get called up to the main roster. A lot of the European talent are staying in NXT. And they just recently revealed the Heritage Cup is now part of NXT as well. You have to wonder if WWE is going to start bringing in some of those former NXT UK talents that were released and bring them back into NXT. And instead of WWE launching NXT Europe as an actual television show, perhaps maybe WWE goes the route of just building performance centers everywhere and then starts bringing in some of those talent to NXT for Tuesday nights. In a sense, this would create NXT being a super indie, similar to what it was in 2019 and 2020. Obviously, a lot of people are going to have mixed emotions, mixed feelings on that, but I do think WWE has done a really good job with NXT as of late. If they can keep doing what they're doing without getting off track, I think NXT is going to be a very desirable program for wrestling fans, and it's going to be really interesting to see where Sha Samuels fits with WWE's future. Guys, I want to talk to you about AEW All In. Tony Khan, obviously very, very heated today. On social media, Tony Khan was responding to ESPN boxing reporter Mike Coppinger. Basically, this reporter comes out. He responds to the Wrestling Observer's tweet about 35,000 tickets being sold on day one of the presale. He says, hearing Wembley is scaled for only $40K for AEW. Far cry from last April when I was ringside for Tyson Fury, Dylan White. And it was packed to the brim with 94,000. Nothing beats the big fight feel at Wembley. Tony Khan responded to this with lies. What a load of crap. Tell your agent Nick Khan to shove it up his ass. Now, the thing is, Tony Khan didn't stop right there because Tony Khan is very, very angry about what is being said here. And obviously, Tony Khan should feel upset if false news like this is being dropped. But really what it comes down to is a variety of things, and we're going to talk about it in today's video because AEW is doing a fantastic job, but Tony Khan takes it a step further to really nail this guy. He says, since you carry the credentials of a credible reporter plus represent the worldwide leader, I'm just curious, who was your source for this? And how can a reporter representing ESPN tweet something about a legit news story that's so blatantly wrong and easily verified as falsehood? And then here's the thing. For those who don't know, AEW did in fact sell 35,000 tickets. And when you look at the seating chart, it doesn't look like anything is being tarped off. So this actually is a good thing for AEW. It's a very significant number. There's a lot of people who are trolling on social media who believe AEW couldn't sell 20 to 30,000 tickets. And I just don't think that's realistic. So in a way, people are upset with the way Tony Khan is handling himself on social media. But it's really important that Tony Khan continues to let people know that this is wrong. And I think transparency matters the most. Tony Khan could easily handle this by suggesting and throwing out exactly what their goals are and whatever it may be. Obviously, if you're Tony Khan, it's really difficult because you don't want to throw out numbers and then look stupid. But I think it's really simple with the fact that, Tony Khan is running Wembley Stadium. And if you even do 30, 40, 50,000, it doesn't matter. It's the most he's ever done. So ultimately, it's a big win for AEW to even do Wembley Stadium, regardless if it's sold 94,000 seats or not. And the funny thing is, there's a lot of people wishing failure upon AEW. Now, it's no secret. If you guys follow my content, I've been very transparent in recent months. I am not the biggest AEW fan. I don't feel the same about AEW that I did in 2019, 2020, and 2021. However, at the same time, too, why would people really want AEW to fail here? And why is an ESPN reporter coming out talking about, they're only scaled to do 40,000? Why are people trying to diminish the overall potential success for AEW? At the end of the day, even if you're a WWE fan or an AEW fan, it doesn't matter. What matters is a healthy wrestling industry. And that's coming from me telling you guys, look, I'm not even the biggest fan anymore of AEW. I think in recent weeks and the last 2-3 months, the product has become pretty damn good. But at the same time, too, I need more from them. And that's why I say the same thing about WWE. You can provide good content, but I need more from you. I need to see more from you. I really like to get bought into stories and consistent storytelling. That's what I like. I like good wrestling. I like good stories. I like good character progression. I like continuity. I think sometimes that's AEW's downfall. But at the same time, too, I am not going to sit here and be oblivious to the fact that AEW has done a really good job of capturing their fan base and being able to maximize things like this. So at the end of the day, Tony Khan, in my opinion, people are going to say, oh, it's unprofessional, it's this and it's that. Look, maybe Tony Khan should lay off of Twitter because obviously it really bothers people. But at the same time, too, if Tony Khan is noticing that there's fake news being posted on his product and his overall success, yeah, at some point you do have to defend yourself, and I really do stand behind Tony Khan in that regard. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Big win for AEW, doing 35,000 on the first day of pre-sale. We'll see what they finish up with, but I'm excited. We got SummerSlam, we got AEW All In, we got Night of Champions, we got so many great events coming up. I'm super geeked about it. I want to know what you guys think down below.